Who says you can't find talent in the Mountain West? Because Colorado State wide receiver Tory Horton has all the talent and makeup to be the next hidden gem in this year's draft class. What's good? That's Textbook Sports Squad. Appreciate those of y'all tuning in. Today we got a film breakdown on Colorado State wide receiver Tory Horton. He's listed at 6'2", 196 pounds. Gonna be a receiver taken in the later rounds, and really one of my favorite wide receivers in this draft class. And so, being taken in the later rounds, that means you're gonna have to block. It's gonna be things that you do without the football that'll and your IQ that'll impress scouts. So here, Horton is to the bottom. I just love his blocking on this play. Like being a later round guy, you want to cement yourself on the football team. You're gonna have to block like how Tory Horton does right here. Continue to fight and give your teammate an opportunity to score a touchdown. And now the next thing is going to be about how well you do on special teams. And so, what a better way to showcase yourself on special teams than taking a punt return to the house? I mean, just watch how he weaves through traffic here, the speed. And then, how about not only asserting yourself in special teams once, but twice for a second punt return touchdown? Again, just his speed, the way he weaves through traffic, especially right there. I mean, just pretty remarkable for someone listed at 6'2", 196 to have that kind of speed and getaway. Next thing is we have to find out a little bit about your IQ, and this clip to me shows the high IQ that Tory Horton has. So, and the play design for this is, I mean, it's really messed up by Colorado State. Like, I have no idea what their intentions are here, but to draw it out, you have double slants over here to the top. You're going to have the quarterback on a rollout. This right here is Tory Horton. He's going to be going to the flat. And then you're going to have this wide receiver right here. He'll come across the formation on a slant, I'm guessing. And then to the bottom, we just have a regular go route. I don't understand it because, I mean, are we trying to pick off the defensive back? And if so, which one? Because it's not going to affect him. Are we trying to pick off this edge defender because he has no chance of getting to Horton's outside shoulder? It's just really messed up. It's a broken play, and as soon as I get to play it, you'll see how broken it is. Like it's completely covered. I have no idea why you want to roll the quarterback out and then have him go through this way. But nonetheless, it's a broken play, so you got to help your quarterback out. I love what Horton does right here by going upfield. When he works upfield, that he just needs to take about 2 steps, have the defensive back commit north, and then snap it down, work back to your quarterback. Exactly what he does right here. Just be a quarterback's best friend. So now let's see how you do as a wide receiver in terms of route running, hands, working against leverage, fighting through contact, being physical. And in this play right here, Tory Horton to the bottom of the screen, he's going to be running a slant. The tricky thing is we have this defensive back right here with inside leverage. That means we have to use a diamond release, which is 3 hard steps to the outside, vertical, work back inside. Tory Horton does a phenomenal job at that. You can see he's working outside, gives him a move, then works back inside, violent snap, and just footwork to change direction like that at 6'2", 196. And you see right here, he's boxing out the defensive back, and I love the way he attacks the football right here. He has his arms out. Only he can get that football. He's boxing out the defensive back. Comes down with a difficult catch. This right here is just phenomenal catch from Tory Horton. Again, he's to the bottom of the screen. He's going to be on a go route. Just this overall speed he has is like pretty tremendous. He's able to stack the defensive back as he does right here. I love the hand fighting as well. And you can see at this point the defensive back's got his left arm trapped, so he's having to attack that football with one hand, kind of one hand basket catch it over his shoulder as well. I mean, the defensive back draped all over you. That's a terrific catch, and he's specializes in difficult catches. Tory Horton is a vertical threat in the sense of speed and just throw it up there and let him make a play. Keep in mind the situation and scenario here. Fourth quarter, 4.5 left to go, 4th and 23. You're down 11 points on the road. This is just a prayer. Throw it up to Tory Horton. Hope he makes a tremendous play, and he does just exactly that. He's going to have the corner and the safety draped all over him. High points the football, make sure he's the only one that can be able to get it head top, but then he still has that balance to land with 2 feet and get in for the score. Like there, I don't necessarily love that he goes with the basket catch. I'd prefer him to just like how he did in that one clip, just extend his arms out. But I mean, he still gets the job done there. On this play, we're seeing the varying routes that Colorado State had him run. And I love his mindset in terms of attack, how to run this route and how to gain the leverage advantage. So he's going to be running, they're going to have a rollout to his side at the top of the screen right here. And he's going to be running a comeback. So that with the defensive back that far outside, we're going to go on a spray release. And the spray release is just meaning that we're going to attack the cornerback in this situation, their left shoulder right here to get in their blind spot. The blind spot is in their back, which is about right there. And with one thing I'd have to complain for in Horton's routes is at the break point, sometimes he raises his pad level, as you can see right here. And not very many times does he fully snap down because he has quick change of direction and like he can change direction on a dime, but rarely does he do it sometimes. So you see, he raises his pad level, kind of drifts into that route. He still gets enough separation and he makes a pretty difficult catch. And his one thing I'll say is his sideline or toe drag swag is A plus. Now mentioning that toe drag swag and that sideline awareness, this is like a perfect example of it. I mean, it's not too much with the route. Like he's running an inside breaking route. They give him the leverage, but watch him right there. So he's in full stride, and I mean, he's pretty close to the sideline. Like he's got enough space, but in full stride, having to reach outside his frame, get the toe tap right there. Which in college you only need one, so he gets the one, and then that just to get that second one down right there that is that is extremely tough to do. So watch it again. There's the right, and then within a snap, that second one is already down. That tells me he's got good body control and good footwork. Here's an instance of where Horton's like route running can be refined, and like I say, sometimes he shows that quick change of direction to just plant one foot and to make sharp cuts. Other times, it's not necessarily there, and this is a great example of it. He's to the top of the screen running a hitch route versus off man, and I mean he just rolls his route right here, as you can see about right there. The 43-yard line is where he's starting his initial step, and then it's just going to roll. That momentum takes him too far forward to where he ends up and he stops that route at about the 46-yard line. So that's 3 yards that he gave the corners to close the space, and it shows up right there. There, he's having to make a difficult catch. Not a world we want to live in. Then sometimes there's moments where he runs textbook routes right here. So here's Horton to the bottom of the screen. You have the cornerback, which appears from this angle looks like to be inside leverage, and Horton's going to go on a double move with the out and up. And he just does it textbook. I mean, it's sound, exactly what you want to look for, and to get the defensive back to react like this. So it's going to take some time, but he works inside, and then right there, he's starting his break, and for him in the corner, there are 5 yards of space, right? What sells this route is what he does right here. He turns back, he positions himself as if it's going to be a quick out or a speed out, and look at how much separation he's able to get, including his route running and speed. Then what makes it even better is that right there. I mean, going out of having to work over your shoulder though, to catch a ball over your shoulder. For those of you who haven't done it, is very difficult to do. Also, while being in full stride and having to, I mean, being going deep on a play like that to catch it with hands, no bobble. That's oozing talent. Wanted to include this clip because yes, on this channel we do a lot of scouting with in terms of trades, what they do sometimes when they have the ball, sometimes when they don't even have the ball. Uh, but also within the game of football, there are situal things like situal awareness things. Like in this case, it is fourth quarter, minute 5 left to go. fourth and 11, you're down by 1 point, and in being a projected day 3 guy, you're going to have a short leash or short leash, excuse me, and you're going to get a lot of work in special teams, as we mentioned, and then just to field the ball at the 1 yard line, not something very smart to do, not something we want to do. Then in the same game, we have just another mental mistake. So there's Hortons to the bottom of the screen. You can see the situation, right? 5 seconds left in the half. You're up 3 points. Maybe want to capitalize. You still have a timeout left. Want to get into field goal range. Great completion, right? And he's at the 17, in between the 17, 16 yard line. Got 3 seconds when he catches the ball right here. And now you're thinking, let's just get down. We can call a timeout pretty quickly. Instead, he's going to trust his abilities, and even while trusting his abilities, he gets pretty close to almost taken to the house. I believe he gets down at like the 3 yard line, yeah, 3 yard line right there. So just some mental mistakes. I'm sure he's going to get that coached out of him in the NFL. So now let's look at some of the positive from this game against Wyoming, because Tory Horton runs a NFL veteran route. It's that kind of approval. And I mean, it's textbook what he does right here. So he's to the bottom of the screen. Colorado's going to have a switch release route combination that they're going to run. And Horton's going to be working on an in-breaking route. You can see the corner. He does a good job of fighting through, not even fighting through the traffic, just avoiding the traffic right there. And so Horton right there, watch, that's a pressure step right there. He's going to work vertical, get into the defensive back's blind spot, and just route the defensive back. Now, when they do that, it's just playing a cat and mouse game with him. With 1 foot, he's able to change direction back to the inside. And look at that separation that he has right there. I mean, 5, 6 yards of separation on that route just alone. Tory Horton just absolutely routes the defensive back on this play. And I'm going to play it at a slower speed just because I want you all to see what he does with his footwork right here on this release. So he's got his back foot right there, and watch what he does with it and how he transitions that power. So it goes from back foot, skip step, and then he using that skip step, it's going to give him a lot of power in his lower body. And I love the pad level, the athletic stance, get into that kind of an athletic stance that he is right here. It gives him so much, and it gives not only him, but a lot of receivers that do it like this, so much explosion out of their route. To watch him explode with that right foot, fight off the defensive back, able to stack, gain the leverage he needs to, and the positioning, good ball placement, great route from him as well too. Oh, and did I mention he makes insanely difficult catches? Just looks so easy. The way he extends his hands out of his frame, I mean, regardless if he steps out of bounds or not, and this is a catch or not, to have that kind of body control, to make that catch, dragging the feet, and heart, slight little wiggle right there, but that is very difficult to do. There's times when Horton is running routes that it doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but when he's able to really just get in that athletic stance and really gear down, he looks just tremendously fast. So here he is. He's going to be on a post. Love how he works outside to gain that leverage. I mean, he beats the defensive back right there. Only thing is, it's a poor throw. And so if you needed that step of approval or stamp of approval or further evidence, if you were wary or weary of the Mountain West competition, here's a great example going up against my favorite corner in this class and someone who's projected to go in the first round, Will Johnson. And so watch Horton right here watch what he does right here. Kick step right there on the release. Really doesn't have to give too much of a move, able to stack. And then watch right there with that little hand movement. So if I'll play it again for you, there's a kick step. Doesn't have to do too much on the release. There's the hand fighting right there, but right there, I mean, it technically, yes, it is a push, but you see a lot of top tier wide receivers and wide receivers do this in the NFL to where if the defensive back is in phase with them like this, they'll just give a slight little, not a full extension, because if you do a full extension, then that's a push off, but just a slight little nudge to create space from that corner and also propel you forward. So watch what he does right here to the left shoulder, gives him that space he needs, and makes a pretty difficult catch. Now that the film breakdown portion of this video is complete, let's get into the player summary. Tory Horton, he's listed at 6'2", 196. Uh, October 12th, he tore his ACL and he ran a 4.41 40. So to be just a couple months after tearing your ACL, run that kind of 40, it shows you the progression he's made in his recovery. Also, at his pro day, ran a couple of routes, so it's good to see that for him. He's a tall wide receiver that plays tall, but his movement abilities suggest that he is 5'10", 5'11". Like he has good change of direction. He's also shifty too. What's also very surprising at a receiver for a receiver that size is his yard after catch ability. They were using him on a ton of underneath routes, quick game, speed out, screens, all of everything you could think of underneath. They were doing for him, crossing routes as well. Route running wise, I think he is a good route runner as it stands right now, with the possibility to become even better. We saw some clips where he had like NFL veteran type of routes. His releases, he usually goes with the split release, hesitation release, things like that. We even did see a diamond release. I think he'll just have to grow on that a little bit more. Obviously, being a speedy receiver, he has that advantage to just take the top off the defense and stack the corner. Things I think he should work on in terms of his route running is just keep that athletic stance, stay low, make sure your cuts are sharp, which he has that ability. Like he has good change of direction, and he can change direction with one foot. But sometimes he rolls his cuts, like how we saw in that Wyoming clip. He rolls his cuts on a hitch. Allows the corner to close that space. Then it becomes a difficult catch. Then speaking of difficult catches, he just makes them look so easy. He has good sideline awareness. Tall, very tall receiver, and he high points the ball, make sure no one else has a chance at getting it but himself. Ball tracking is tremendous as well. So he's a receiver that in the later rounds, if your team gets a chance to draft him, he can be a gem, diamond in the rough, and turn into something really special.